July 14th, and this is week 4 of the All Levels Balboa class. And what we covered to start off with is hand placement for your follows. I'm going to grab Robert here, and I just want to show you guys what not to do. So if you're in close position, you're not going to want to wrap your arm around this way because it's too much pressure on him, and you're not going to want to rest your arm right here. Even though I'm not pushing down on him, when you put your arm right here, it's just a little too much weight. So when you're in close position, your arm's going to just gently come around, and you're responsible for holding your arm up. So you're going to hold your arm up and gently put it on his back. Sometimes you'll see a hand flat like this, and that might give you a tendency to hold on to him. So go ahead and let your hand cup his back a little bit, or you can put your thumb here and just relax your fingers and let your arm rest. So one tip that I'm going to give the follows is Robert and Gina have a nice height difference going, but sometimes you're going to dance with people that there's a bigger height difference. In that case, it's a little bit okay to put your arm a little bit lower, right? So that's not a problem. You don't need to be reaching up for it, but it should be comfortable. Either way, you don't want to be hanging on the arm.
Basically, if Robert were to step away from me right now, my arm is ergonomically correct. It's not up here, and it's not down here. So you will adjust to your lead. You will bring your arm down with you if you're down here. You won't put your arm up here.
Okay.
That's a good point. All right. So what are we starting off with?
So we've talked about the connection. The next thing that we want to do is do the lolly footwork that we showed, so the variations.
This is just fun stuff for you guys to practice at home. So we're going to start with the left foot tapping.
Okay.
And we're going to go tap and kick, tap and kick. Now keep going. And what I want you guys to do is when you step, you're going to spin. When you put your foot on the ground, it spins. Both feet. Notice that they're both spinning. Spin, 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 spin.
So one of the things that we're concentrating on the footwork here, but one of the things that we talked about that you'll notice with Gina is that she's moving her hips. She's not moving her shoulders, right? So the lolly movement is coming from your hips. You're going to stay squared off with your partner, right? So we've been starting with the left. We did a couple other variations in class. You can do taps on both sides.
And this is great to practice around the house. You can hold on to the door or the wall and so it keeps your shoulders straight, and just swing your hips. And a great thing to practice is swinging your hips to a 10, which is easier when you hold on to a wall. Swing them a lot, because then you can come back to a 5.
You want to over-rotate. You want to overemphasize it, right? So we did the tap with the left, kick with the right. We did the tap taps, and you can do it the other way too. So you can start with the right and do tap, kick.
And then when you're practicing this, go ahead and mix it up. So together, and then you can go the other direction. Then you can go both directions. This is just good to mix it up.
So with these variations, when you're doing it with a partner, it doesn't actually matter which version you're doing, right? It doesn't have to be the same. We can start out the same, but maybe we want to do different stuff. And your leader, your follow may choose to mirror you, but they don't have to, right? Okay, so you want to go through the lead pivoting for the right.
Okay, so leads only right now. Follows, if you want to practice this, that's fine, but I really want to get this drill for the leads. We're going to do getting into the come around and getting into the lollies. This is how we get there. You're just going to go back, together, forward, pivot, step, step, gather, step. Back, together, forward, pivot, step, step, gather, step. Now that you guys learned the original basic where we traveled a little bit, I'm going to rein you in. I did that on purpose because it gets you moving and it gets your weight changes. Now you're going to step small. I don't want you stepping beyond your feet. You're going to step back, together, forward. My feet are not stepping beyond. So we're going to go back, together, forward, pivot. Back, together, forward, pivot, step, step, gather, step. Back, together, forward, pivot, step, step, gather, step.
So the main thing for the follows to remember is you should just keep doing your same old basic footwork, but we want to be emphasizing that you want to keep it small and you should stay underneath you. So as long as you're doing that, as long as you're doing your basic and you're staying underneath you, you will be ready to pivot with your lead when he leads it.
And what's great about that is every lead's going to do it different. So if you just keep your feet under you, you'll be able to follow them all. Back, together, forward, pivot, step, step, gather, step. Back, together, forward, pivot, step, step, gather, step. Back, together, forward, pivot.
Right, so step, step, gather, and step, step, gather, and step, step, gather, and step, step, gather.
So this allows us to do this. Bump, bump, bump. Back together, forward, pivot, step, step, kick.
We're in our lollies. And I didn't actually step backward, right? My lead just released me.
Keep going. Bump, bump, bump. Step, step, gather, step. Back together, forward, step, step, kick. And you just open her out. And the exit, if you guys want to practice it, you just step back and dun, dun, dun. Step together, gather, step. It's all the exact same steps.
And the mantra of the follow doesn't change. I'm staying in a single place. So the only other thing I would say about this week is we talked a lot about body connection and how the lead is coming from that side. And we'll spend a little bit more time next week talking about that release and getting out of those come rounds.
So when I see you guys next time, when the leads grab their girl, I want you guys to let her know you are comfortable bringing her in. I want you to tell her you're comfortable. If she pushes away from you a little bit, then she's not comfortable. Maybe Balboa is not her dance. But if you don't bring her, if you bring her to here, she's going to think you want space. So you need to bring her in close and just relax a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's it. Thank you.